In the last year of the Somoza regime, he murdered 50,000 Nicaraguans. 50,000 out of a population then of about 2.5 million people. This is extraordinary. And by the way, most were done by aerial bombings. He was bombing his own cities with, of course, U.S. military support.
Desafortunadamente, el cuento, la experiencia de Sócrates es una que se ha reproducido muchas veces aquí por Nicaragua. Y en los últimos años de la lucha murieron más de 50,000 nicaragüenses. Eso es algo increíble en una población de 2.5 millones. Es un hecho extraordinario. Y por supuesto fue, si no saben, fue por bombardeo aéreo. Y eso con la ayuda de los Estados Unidos.
And of course, the United States was not done yet. Very shortly after the Sandinista triumph, Jimmy Carter, our human rights president, gathered a number of Somocista National Guard leaders, and he flew them to the Honduran border on planes marked with Red Cross insignia, which is a war crime. And they would become the genesis of the Contras, who would be trained by the United States CIA along with the fascist junta of Argentina. And they would go on to kill another 30,000 Nicaraguans.
Por supuesto, con esos bombardeos que hablé anteriormente, eso no quiere decir que Estados Unidos había terminado ya su causa. Con el triunfo, el presidente conocido por ser defensor de los derechos humanos, Jimmy Carter, comenzó y ayudó a embarcar en un avión, a abordar a miembros de la Guardia Nacional, somocistas, que fueron llevados para al otro lado de la frontera a Honduras. Y lo llevaban en aviones marcados de la Cruz Roja. Y ahí fueron entrenados por la CIA y también por el ejército fascista de Argentina.
And ultimately, Nicaragua would take the United States to court over the Contra War, over the terrorism that the Contras committed against the people here, over the CIA's mining of the Nicaraguan harbors, and the bombing of Nicaraguan oil installations. By the way, that was as I understand it, it was the idea of Father Miguel de Escoto to bring that case. Nicaragua won that case before the World Court.
Y últimamente Nicaragua, estaba hablando de los años 80, Nicaragua tomó la decisión de llevar un caso a la corte por la agresión contra Nicaragua, el minado de sus puertos y también por el bombardeo que hicieron sus instalaciones petroleras. Y tengo entendido que eso fue una idea del padre Miguel de Escoto. Y Nicaragua ganó.
But what did the U.S. do in response to this decision? Nothing. It ignored it. And even though the U.S. Congress was moved, in part by that decision, large part by that decision to end aid to the Contras, as many of you know, Ronald Reagan continued to fund the Contras through illegal arms sales to Iran and through drug sales of cocaine on the city's streets of the United States.
La respuesta de los Estados Unidos fue no hacer nada. Lo ignoraron. Bueno, es verdad que habían algunos miembros del Congreso que fueron conmovidos a tratar de terminar la ayuda a la compra. Pero Reagan persistió siempre en el financiamiento a la compra y eso continuó a través de la venta de armas a Irán y también a la venta de drogas en las mismas calles de los Estados Unidos.
And incredibly, it should be noted that a gentleman named Elliott Abrams, who was in the Reagan administration, was convicted of perjury for lying about that Iran-Contra scandal. And he was just appointed to Joe Biden's White House. Elliott Abrams.
Y aunque pareciera increíble, Elliott Abrams, que formó parte, que fue encontrado culpable por haber mentido antes de los tribunales en el escándalo Irán-Contragate, en los hearings, hoy día forma parte de la comisión, la nueva comisión que ha creado el presidente Joe Biden. Es parte de la Casa Blanca de Joe Biden.
And so, thank you. And so the point is that when people think that the U.S. attempt to overthrow the Nicaraguan revolution is finished, they're just ignoring the facts. They're ignoring history because the U.S. does not stop. Thankfully, the Nicaraguan people don't give up either, and they keep fighting and they keep winning. And so what I like to say to people, because you often hear from people in the West, in the United States, people who should know better, will often criticize the Sandinistas and essentially ask, why can't they do better? And my question is, I would like to pose this question. How is it that the Sandinistas have done so much in the face of so much resistance and terror from the United States? 19 and I came here to Nicaragua. I was inspired by this struggle of a tiny, poor country against the most powerful nation in the world. And I have never stopped being inspired by Nicaragua. And I know everyone here feels the same way. And Nicaragua deserves our help, our support, and we will give that to Nicaragua.
Como les dije, vine a Nicaragua cuando tuve 19 años y me sentí inspirado como un pequeñísimo país estaba enfrentando el país más poderoso del mundo. Y creo vamos a continuar ayudando, brindando, apoyando este proceso en Nicaragua y su pueblo.
And I just wanted to, I wanted to give a book to the ATC, which actually gave me a lot of substantial help on this book. So Fausto and Edgardo, if you're here and want to come up, I have a book for you signed. And also I have one for Erica, who actually was amazing in helping me with this book, and who's an amazing person, and a lot of the work I understand she does is unpaid. So I wanted to give you this book as well.
Bueno, yo quiero reconocer y quería dar un libro a la ATC, a Edgardo y a Fausto, si están aquí, por favor. Y también, en particular, quiero dar un libro para Erika, que me brindó una...